Hello and welcome everyone. So today in this video we are going to learn about, as you can see here, directive principle of state policy. That means we also call it as DPSP. So this is under the part 4 of your constitution. So here we are going to deal from Lucent general knowledge, okay, Lucent GK, and this will be especially for those who are preparing for competitive exams, okay, SSC, banking, UPSC. It will helpful for those candidates who are preparing for competitive exams. So here in this video I have provided this directive principle of state policy in a very shortly, okay. It is a very brief description only. If you wanted a very detailed description, do let me know in the comment section. Okay, so let us start our today's lecture, that is on directive principle of state policy. Okay, see this directive principle, first point that you need to know is that directive principle of state policy, that is DPSP, are contained in part 4 of the constitution. See, in part 3 what we have learned fundamental rights, and in part 4 it is the directive principle of state policy, and in part 4A it is fundamental duties. I have uploaded the videos regarding fundamental rights and fundamental duties. If you haven't watched that video, do watch it, okay. It will be helpful for you. So here, see what these directive principle basically wanted to suggest. See, from the name itself, directive, okay, these are direction, a way of direction, okay. These are directions, or you can say guidelines, okay, directions or guidelines given or written, written as how to run the country. You know, in short, you can say as how to run the country for the state and the for the state, okay, for the state and or in the state and the central level, like how they should run, especially like in a democratic country, and special emphasis if we give on an India, then what happens here? What is the ultimate goal of the government, isn't it, or ultimate goal of the ruling party, ultimate goal or development of the ruling party, or aim of the ruling party should be the welfare of the people, isn't it? It is the welfare of the people. So here this directive principles also aims at providing more prescriptive welfare for the people, so that the state and center should make policies as per them. These are some of the guidelines, okay, which are been given. And here these are like goal and objectives also that we as a society should adopt, and the central and the state should look into it. And there are certain rights provided under this directive principle, okay, certain rights provided for the individual apart from that fundamental rights. In the fundamental right part, there are so many rights provided for the individuals, and those are all what? Political rights, isn't it? Those are political rights. But here this directive principle of state policy, that is DPSP, under this you will find rights dealing with social and economic, okay, rights which deals with social and economic rights. So that is the difference here between one difference here between fundamental rights and directive principle, that fundamental rights are political rights, and here directive principles are social and economic rights, okay. So here certain policies that government should adopt are been given here, okay. The guidelines are been given here. For example, what is the goal of the DPSP? It should be the welfare of the people, providing social, economic and political justice to the people. These are not enforceable, okay, these are non-enforceable. You should remember that. That means you cannot claim for that. For in case of fundamental right, you can go to the court and you can claim, isn't it, in any case of your rights are been violated or anything happens. But here these are non-enforceable, okay, non-justiciable. And this also aims at like rising the standard of living, okay, and promoting of international peace. So all such some guidelines are given here under directive principles, and mainly it has been divided into 3 parts, okay. So we are going to deal with all that 3 parts here. So we'll start. So okay, see, I have already told you this aim at providing social and economical base for a genuine democracy, especially social and economic right, okay. So here, importance of directive principles. So there are three types, okay, three types of directive principle aim at providing social and economic justice in a welfare state. So what are they? Let us see one by one. Okay, what are the three directive principle, three types of directive principle, not directive principle. Okay, and yeah, here one more thing. This directive principle contained from article 36 to 51. Okay, article 36 to 51. So here in fundamental right, it was from article 12 to 35, isn't it? Part 3 deals with 12 to 35. Here the directive principles deal with from article 36 to 51. Okay. Okay, and yes, do subscribe my channel as well and show your support so that I can bring more videos and more content. Okay. Okay, the first type of directive principle that we will talk about is socio-economic principles. Okay, so under these socio-economic principles, let us see what are the points given. Okay, here this should be they, okay, not the. So the first point here is to provide adequate means of livelihood to all citizens. So it is the duty of the, you can say, of the state or of the government to provide an adequate means of livelihood to citizens by generating employment, isn't it? By generating employment and making more sources through which people can earn their livings. So that is one of the basic goal of the state. All right. And second, we have to prevent the concentration of wealth and means of production and ensure equitable distribution of wealth and material resources. So here it means in our country especially, there has been division in the people, isn't it? The class division, not the caste division. Here in the present day, the class division is there. The rich are getting richer and richer and the poor are getting poorer and poorer. So in order to prevent that, okay, there should be some law, okay, made by the government so that the concentration of wealth doesn't become only on one side. It should be equitably distributed to everyone. This also so that as our country is a social democratic socialist country, isn't it? It also follows the ideas of socialism. So here that means of production and means of whatever you have, whatever wealth a state has, should be equitably distributed to the public or for the welfare of the public. That is the second point here. See, this all comes under socio and economic principle, means you are providing social and economic ways, okay, social and economic ways for the people, so that they can uplift themselves, okay, so that they can uplift the living standard and they can ensure a decent standard of life, okay, and all type of leisures which they should have. Third, we have to secure equal pay for equal work of men as well as women. See, that means there, and for this a minimum wages has also been fixed, isn't it? So here the third point that comes under socio-economic principles is that means there should be security for equal payment for equal work, means there should be no discrimination. Like usually our society have witnessed that if a man does work for 8 hours, suppose for example he is being paid 200 rupees, okay, but the same work which has been done by women, okay, then the woman will be paid only 100 rupees. So there was discrimination in that way, okay. So here now such discrimination should be there and equal payment should be there for equal work for both men and women. I hope you have understood this point, okay, and this is a very important point as well. Fourth point, to ensure a decent standard of living and leisures for all the workers, means you should not let the workers like working all the time. They should also have some leisure times, okay, and they should also have the chance to raise their standard of living. That means how you can do it, how the state can do, by providing more employment and by generating more employment, and also for the workers by giving them by raising their wages as well, okay, and also by giving them like a bonus or by promoting them from time to time, not letting them static into one place only, okay, giving a chance for the people, providing a chance for the public to develop themselves. In that way only you can ensure a decent standard of living, okay. And next we have about opportunity. Okay, next point, to provide necessary opportunities and facilities to children and youth to prevent their exploitation, means equal opportunities should be given, and facilities should be given to the children, because youth are our pillar, isn't it? You pillar of our country. So in order to prevent their exploitation, necessary opportunities should be provided to the children and the youth. And to make efforts to secure the right of work, means there should be law, okay, in order to secure a right to work, education, public assistance in case of unemployment, sickness and old age. Suppose if a worker is sick and he is not able to come to work for around 1 month or 15 days, you should not discourage them, and you should not throw them out of the work. Instead, you should be given them some money in the form of medical treatment, okay, and you should provide them some assistance. So this is known as to effort to secure the rights, like right, you have right to work, isn't it? And in education also, so such provisions should be there. Next we have, okay, these were some of the principles listed under the socio-economic principles. Next we have Gandhian principle, the second type. See, I have divided this into 3 parts as per your book, okay, which is given there in the Lucent general knowledge. So here the second part is the Gandhian principle, okay. So here under this Gandhian principle, what we can see, there are the establishment of a village panchayat and to function as a unit of self-government. See, the foremost duty or the foremost guidelines, okay, here it is that there should be a village panchayat, because see, politics, whenever power cannot be ruled from a center level only, there should be decentralization of power, isn't it? So because people living in a city will never know the problems that the villagers are facing. So if there is a panchayat, proper election has been held, then that area will be developed, there will be development in that area within no time. So for that, establishment of village panchayat, and which we have also, isn't it? And so that they will not depend, this village people will not depend into the central government for everything, for every small work or everything. If they have their own village panchayat, if they have their own government over there in the local level, okay, under village panchayat, like we have this Jila Parishad, isn't it? So just like that, we have Pradhan. So here what will happen, they will not always wait for the central government to do everything, because it is not possible for the central government to do everything in a country like, especially in a country like India, okay, as there is a huge population. So establishment of a village panchayat, okay. And see, these are also basically guidelines which have been written after the independence, and there are certain things which have already been adopted by the government already, okay. So these are only some guidelines to enhance the social and economic status of the person, because right after independence, what happened, our India, there was a biggest challenge to the country to uplift the people, isn't it, to take them out of the poverty, because all the wealth of the country was been drained properly, and there was no fund as well, isn't it? And why these are not these directive principles are not legalized as that of fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are law in itself, but directive principles are not law. You have to enact law for this, okay. And why it is not so? Because these are social and economic, where you will be needing fund, isn't it? So that's why. And this will be sanctioned, this will be made law only when the government are able to fund for these things, okay. And these are written by that time, and most of the things are been already fulfilled as of now, okay. So we'll see the other guidelines here, okay. The next we have under Gandhian principle is that, see, and Gandhian principle always support for cottage industry, small scale industries, okay. And over like he always support for decentralization, okay. And he believes that only then there will be development from within. So here the next principle under Gandhian principle is under DPSP, the promotion of educational and economic interest of weaker section of society, means there should be education provided. See, this been already provided also by the government. Elementary education is there, isn't it? And to also to provide economic interest for the weaker section of the society, see, to uplift themselves. It always talks about the upliftment, development and welfare of the people. See, the third point, it comes here, that is the promotion of cottage industry. That means the small scale industries. These small scale industries can also earn a huge, isn't it, earn huge and make a person self-reliant and independent, especially women. So like weaving, for weaving of clothes, especially here comes the khadi clothes, isn't it, weaving of khadi clothes, this all comes under cottage industries. So it always enhance, it always promote for it all. The guidelines says that there should be promotion of cottage industries, and it is happening also, isn't it, it is happening also in a small scale level in most of the village, if you can see. Fourth, we have the prohibition of intoxicating drugs and drinks. See, these are some of the things which will ruin and which will hamper the development of a individual, isn't it? So here there should be prohibition of this intoxicating drugs and drinks. See, there is always banned, isn't it, like especially in tobacco also. If you can see the sachet of the tobacco, you will find very like disturbing image out there, isn't it? Like if you are going, if you keep on chewing this tobacco, then it will happen like you will be facing such cancers, and such pictures are given there. So why government is doing like that? So that seeing that pictures, so people will avoid it. Okay, not only in case of tobacco, in case of drugs and drinks also, these are all which ruin the youth, especially the youth of the society. So here prohibition should be there. And another point, the last point under Gandhian principle, prevention of the slaughter of calves and other milch cattle, etc., especially the useful cattle. Okay, there should be prevention of slaughtering of cows and all this, because it provides you milk and it is a source of income as well, isn't it, and is a living creature. And what is our fundamental duty that we have learned, that there should be a soft corner within our heart for all the living creatures. So for that there should be prevention of the slaughtering of calves and other milch cattle. That was the Gandhian principle. Now let us see the liberal principle. Okay, what the liberal principle tell us, what are the guidance under listed under the liberal principle. So here first is the uniform civil code. Okay, a uniform civil code. See, as it talks about liberal, okay, for all liberal, it says a uniform civil code for the country. See, this was laid during that time. Okay, and on the present day context there has been work also. And what is this uniform civil code? See, uniform civil code means there should be a law for everyone. Okay, for everyone equally, like replacing the personal laws regarding, especially in connection with their religion, marriage, and religion, marriage, and this come under Article 44. Okay, under Article 44, uniform civil code. Here this deals with replacing the personal law which are specific to various religion, or like with by governing a common set of law governing every citizen, especially in case of marriage, divorce, inheritance of property, adoption. Okay, in such case uniform civil code should be there. But this will create so much of problem for certain religions. For example, Muslims, isn't it? For Muslim men, they have a right to marry 4 wives. But in case if this uniform civil code is been applied, then that right will be taken away. Okay, so here that is about uniform civil code. Next is free and compulsory education for all children up to the age of 14. So there should be free and compulsory education, in which is already there, isn't it, under Article 21 also, 21A in fundamental rights. You can see there is free and compulsory education been provided by the government to all the children up to the age of 14 years. That is the elementary education. Third, we have separation of judiciary and executive. See, if in case if there is no separation of judiciary, and it is separated also, it is both of these bodies are independent body. Okay, in case if there is no separation between judiciary and executive, then justice will not be able to provide, because the executive will take this judiciary in their hands, and judiciary, they should be given every decisions in terms of law and in terms of general opinions, everything they have to see. But what happens in case these are not separated, then there will be hamper in the decision making of the judiciary. For so that purpose, there should be separation of judiciary and executive, and it is like that also. Okay, this was written during that time only. Next, we have organization of agriculture and animal husbandry along scientific lines. So there should be a establishment of organization of animal agriculture and husbandry, means there should be development. This will create employment. Okay, and in turn, what will happen? This will develop the people, and this should be on a scientific lines, means there should be improvement brought up, because revolution should be there. And we can see in agriculture, by using certain techniques, isn't it, there is a higher rate, higher growth and higher rate as well, rate of growing. So using scientific lines, using scientific techniques, you should always try to improve your agriculture sector and animal husbandry sector. And this was like written at that time, and it has been all implemented, and implementing, the people are implementing now, isn't it, in the present day. Fifth, we have securing the participation of workers in the management of industries. So security should be provided for those worker who are working in an industry. Security should be provided so that they also feel a sense of security within themselves. And last point we have safeguarding the forest and wildlife of the country. See, this is very important. Okay, in our fundamental duties also we have done. It is our duty to protect the wildlife, forest, river, lake, isn't it? So here we should always safeguard forest and wildlife. Why? Because see, you can see in the present day why the climate is been like becoming harsh, extreme day by day, year by year, not day by day, year by year, because there has been merciless cutting of the trees, isn't it? And there are so many wildlife which has become extinct in the time. So we should always protect, and we should maintain that ecological balance of our country, of our nature, especially here. And also protecting monuments and place of artistic historical importance as well. Okay, not only protecting wildlife and forest, we should always respect our monuments, our historical buildings. For example, you can see in like Taj Mahal, isn't it? Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar. So these are some of the historical monuments which depicts about our culture as well. So we should always protect these monuments. So with this we have completed our directive principles. Okay, where I have tried to explain this in a brief. If you want a detailed description about detailed video about directive principle, you can comment down. Okay, and this directive principle, yes, one more thing, this directive principle are been taken from Ireland, okay, from Irish constitutions, and that Irish constitution also they have also borrowed copied from Spain. So India have taken this DPSP from Irish constitutions. So with that we have complete, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit the bell button so that you'll never miss any update. Okay, and thank you for watching. See you in next video.